Hello, Donald Trump here. Time to read a poem, one of my favorite poems. It's called The Frog and the Toad. The Frog and the Toad. Love this one. Once there was a frog and a toad. There was a big, big frog. This frog lived in a battleground swamp. He was the biggest frog that anyone had ever seen. And he would sit there and say, "Rig it, rig it, rig it." The media said there was no frog, only a toad. They said, now the toad is the new king. So they took the crown from the lion and put it on the toad and said anyone who questions this is now a conspiracy theorist who doesn't respect democracy. Even though everyone could see, the selection was riveted by the frog. The toad had lived his whole life in that swamp. He was so old and senile, his brains were not working too well. They weren't working too well, folks. He was not only the toad, but he was the toad, T-O-W-E-D, because he did whatever the radical left wanted him to do. First, he began by destroying the country, saying, we have to turn the whole country into a dark, dank swamp. So that's what he did, folks, and gas prices went through the roof. The toad also wanted a camel for his assistant. But this camel was not too smart and explained everything in a childlike way. She read a book called Blue Crane, What Do You See? I see a red bear staring at me. She explained that was basically wrong because the blue crane was small, it was tiny, and the big bear was big, he was huge. The camel said 7 borders needed to be respected, but she did not respect her borders in her own desert, and floods of snakes poured in. A badger from the media asked the camel if she had been to the border and saw the snakes pouring in. She laughed and said, no, we've been to borders. The badger said, but have you been to your borders? She laughed again and said, I've been to someone's borders before. There was also a wicked witch in this land who lived in a castle completely protected from any investigations into her crimes. She supposedly had 150 animals slaughtered throughout her career as Apollo wished. The wicked witch said the lion colluded with the red bear to secure his crown, but this was not true. The wicked witch had concocted this scheme and had her flying monkeys spread the lie across the kingdom. Somewhere in the savannah, the lion and the elephant were licking their wounds after taking a big loss, and a rhino came up to them. This rhino did not smell very good and had a golden horn. The lion said, where did you get that horn? And the rhino said, the donkeys promised me a golden horn if I served them. This enraged the elephant, who then pushed the rhino into a pond, and the rhino began to drown. And the lion said, that golden horn is weighing you down. Now you will go out, out, out. The lion and the elephant said, we have to get the crown back from the toad and remove the curse of the wicked witch. They took the wicked witch to court, where the bulldog prosecutor read all her crimes the wicked witch had committed. She denied them all and tried to cast her magic spells, but they didn't work, folks. She was stripped of all her magic powers and locked away in the castle. Then they went to the toad and said, now give back that crown. The toad was so scared he jumped back into the swamp and was never seen again. The lion took his rightful crown back, and now everyone could see the giant frog that took place. Rig it, rig it, rig it. One of my favorite poems, folks.